From Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.
On News Hour tonight, President Buhari condemns our killings as Ondo State Governor vows to hunt down perpetrators. Preparations on for APC presidential primaries as President Buhari asks aspirants to reach consensus. NDLEA arrest 11 as war against illicit drugs intensify. Away from Nigeria, Russian President Vladimir Putin challenges West over missile supplies to Ukraine. Hello and welcome to the News Hour on Trust Television. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for joining. Now let's begin on a sad note. The several worshippers were killed in an explosion which rocked St. Francis Catholic Church, Owalua Street, our local government area of Ondo State. Confirming the incident, the police public relations officer in Ondo, Fumilayo Odunlami, said investigation is ongoing. As at the time of filing this report, details of the incident are sketchy. The worship center is adjacent to the palace of the Olobo of Owo. Owo is the hometown of Governor Rotimi Akeredolu. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has condemned the heinous killing on Sunday of worshippers at the St. Francis Catholic Church in Owo, Ondo State. A statement by the president's spokesman, Femi Adesina, quotes him, saying that only fiends from the nether region could have conceived and carried out such a dastardly act. The president, however, vowed that the country will never give in to evil and wicked people, stressing that Nigeria will eventually win. Commiserating with the families of the dead, President Buhari directed emergency agencies to swing into action and bring succor to the wounded. In the meantime, Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State has assured residents of the state that the government will hunt down assailants that attacked and killed worshippers of St. Francis Catholic Church on Sunday. This is contained in a statement by Mr. Richard Olatunde, the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor on Sunday in Akure. The Governor, who expressed shock at the incident, condoled with the people of Owo, especially families of victims of the attack. Akeredolu enjoined the people to be calm and sensitive, asking them not to engage in any act that could complicate the crisis. The Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, has decried the killing of worshippers at the St. Francis Catholic Church, Owalua Street, Ondo State on Sunday. The Vice President, in a post on his Twitter handle, expressed grief over the incident and described it as a senseless massacre. He condoled with families who lost loved ones in the attack. Still on the Ondo explosion, in another incident, Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State has called for urgent and effective efforts to nab perpetrators. In a statement by his Chief Press Secretary, Mohammed Onogu, on Sunday says the governor was deeply saddened by the incident. Bello also sent his condolences to the families of those who have lost loved ones in the incident, particularly the Catholic family and the entire Christian fold, stating that the governor, he noted that the time has come to make more effective local security architecture in enhancing intelligence gathering and providing safety measures in rural areas. Meanwhile, Governor David Umahi of Ebonyi State has condemned Sunday's bloody attack on a worship center in Ondo State. A statement signed by Francis Nwaze, the Special Assistant to the Governor on Media and Publicity, described the incident as sacrilegious. Umahi, who is also the chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum, called on security agencies to rise to the occasion by apprehending the bandits. The governor also prayed to God to grant the deceased rest in his bosom and that the hoodlums meet their Waterloo. In the same vein, former Anambra State Governor Peter Obi, via his Twitter handle, urged all Nigerians to rise up to prevent a few people from setting the country ablaze. He stressed that all hands must be on deck, even if it required everyone entering the forest. The People's Democratic Party has condemned the gruesome terrorist attack and killing of innocent worshippers during a church service at St. Francis Catholic Church, Ondo State. On Sunday, the party condemned the terrorism act in a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Debo Ologunagba, in Abuja on Sunday. Ologunagba said that the PDP was alarmed by reports of how the attackers invaded the church, opened fire on worshippers, freely used explosives within the premises, murdered compatriots in cold blood, and left unchallenged. He further said that it was disheartening and traumatic to witness gory pictures and videos of children and the elderly murdered in cold blood Sunday morning by terrorists. He urged the government to be up to the task of its primary purpose of providing security and welfare for its citizens. He advised President Muhammadu Buhari to immediately address the nation on measures to stop killing in the country. Now, the Christian Association of Nigeria has described the killing of worshippers at St. Francis Catholic Church, Ondo State, on Sunday as barbaric and wicked. Reverend Anselm Ologunwa, the chairman of CAN in the state, in a statement on Sunday in Akure, called on the government to address the security challenges confronting the country. Ologunwa also urged the state government and security agencies to, as a matter of urgency, go after the perpetrators of the heinous act and bring them to justice. The chairman condoled with families of the victims, the Catholic community, and the entire state, and prayed God to give them the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss. The CAN chairman noted that the day was the feast of the Pentecost Day in the history of the Catholic Church, assuring the people that the Holy Spirit of God will definitely fight for those that were killed in the incident.
My Malari Cantonment Officers' Mess was a colorful sight to behold as senior officers, friends and families, as well as their spouses, gathered to honor 8 retired officers of 7th Division for their active years in combat.
We apologize for that hitch. Now, the Chief of Army Staff, Farouk Yahaya, has urged retired officers to be worthy ambassadors of the Nigerian Army as they live their lives outside the military. Yahaya stated this in Maiduguri at a Sanford dinner to honor 8 retired officers. The report.
My Malari Cantonment Officers' Mess was a colorful sight to behold as senior officers, friends and families, as well as their spouses, gathered to honor 8 retired officers of 7th Division for their active years in combat and service. It was fun and entertainment for guests as they were thrilled with cultural dance and comedy.
I was like, wow, this man is so beautiful. I can't see one short man, you get big belly, the man come past and say, and then we got those sugar daddies, and then they follow these people. I don't say my wife. I don't say the man a general for army.
The Chief of Army Staff, represented by the Theater Commander of Operation Hatinkai, Major General Christopher Musa, charged the retired officers to be worthy ambassadors of the Army, which is ready to benefit from their wealth of experience in the fight against terrorism in the Northeast.
I implore you all to fulfill your obligations, even as retired officers, towards defending the territorial integrity of Nigeria, as espoused in your oath of allegiance. I also urge you all to shun all forms of misconduct or actions capable of bringing the Army to disrepute in retirement. The Chief Army Staff Administration remains committed to enhancing the welfare of all retired discharged personnel within the powers of its office.
Please note, the life in retirement is not entirely rosy. Some challenges you may face as retired personnel include the issue of your health, finances, and security. A one-time very vibrant and energetic, highly motivated gentleman is now asked to relax. I urge you all to keep fit at all times. Be wary of any business venture you intend to pursue, and above all, be very vigilant about your security and that of your family.
Now, several people have been feared killed and houses razed during a renewed crisis between Bassa-Igbura crisis in Bassa local government area of Kogi State. The two ethnic groups have been at loggerheads for a long time over fish ponds and land ownership. But the intervention of Governor Yahaya Bello-led administration restored relative peace in the last 2 years to the area. The renewed hostility was said to have erupted on Monday, May 30th, when two people believed to be of Bassa ethnic nationality were allegedly killed on a farm at Uga Cheri near Oguma, the headquarters of the council, and Korumu near Udogbo. Reports say that Bassa people believe the killing was masterminded by Igbura Mozum because of the existing hostility between the two ethnic groups. The FCT Police Command says normalcy has been restored at the scene of the Saturday incident where a 30-year-old member of a local vigilante was killed for alleged blasphemy. A statement from the command's public relations officer, Josephine Ade, says monitoring and surveillance of the area is being carried out to avoid any reprisal attack or breakdown of law and order. She urged residents to go about their lawful duties without fear or apprehension of any kind from any quarters as discreet investigation continues to unravel facts surrounding the ugly incident and to effect the arrest of the perpetrators. She noted that Commissioner of Police CP Babaji Sunday, while warning against the indiscriminate act of jungle justice, stated that adequate sanctions will be meted on subscribers of the crude and dastardly act. The police advised members of the public to remain vigilant, eschew every form of disorderliness, and report any suspicious or abnormal occurrence to the police. Now, the FCT Minister Muhammad Bello has condemned the mob attack on citizen Ahmad Usman, which culminated in his death on June 4th over allegation of blasphemy against Prophet Muhammad. Bello, in a statement on Sunday in Abuja by his Chief Press Secretary Anthony Ogunleye, reiterated that no one had the right to take the laws into their hands, no matter the circumstances or perceived level of provocation. He said that the FCT administration will not tolerate any form of mob attacks on any resident of the territory or the breakdown of law and order. The minister called on the security agencies to ensure that all those who participated in this heinous act were apprehended and prosecuted. Bello reminded residents that FCT was founded on the premise of national unity, peace and love for country and fellow countrymen. Preparations for the 2022 All Progressives Congress presidential primaries are at an advanced stage. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman was at the Eagle Square, venue for the party's national gathering. Here is his update.
Preparation has reached advanced stage here at the Eagle Square, venue for the APC 2022 Special Convention, a convention that is expected to produce the nation's ruling party's flag bearer for the 2023 presidential election. You can see behind me various activities taking place, from those creating the podium and the polling booths to those laying the red carpet, and to those that are saddled the responsibility of decorating the various stands, including the BIP stand, where President and other key personalities within the APC will be seated. Here is one of the members of the organizing committee who will be talking to us and sharing some of the preparations ahead of the convention. What exactly is going to be different this time around, looking at this national convention?
Well, this time around, it's going to be a convention that's well planned, obviously. It's going to be peaceful, it's going to be secure. And this time around, people will actually enjoy the atmosphere. We're looking to not just come here and elect the candidate for the All Progressive Congress, but also have some sort of fun fair where everyone is happy to actually network and meet fellow party members, and also tell Nigerians that the All Progressive Party is a people-oriented party and a party that is, looking forward to a successful convention. One thing I can assure you is the fact that the aspirants are ready. They're all qualified. I mean, these are qualified aspirants, and they're all ready to go for it. Whether it's going to be a consensus or whether the delegates are coming here to vote, or they're actually coming here to affirm a candidate that's been agreed to, whatever it is, Nigerians actually want to see that happen, and we're quite glad and we're quite sure that that will happen without any hassle at all.
Okay, this is from the horse's mouth, one of the members of the organizing committee, giving us his perspective with regards to the preparation ahead of the national convention. One thing is clear: Nigerians are going to witness a top-notch party convention, but then with regards to whether we're going to have a consensus candidate or it's going to be an open contest, that is left to be seen. From the Eagle Square here in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari on Saturday asked presidential aspirants of the All Progressives Congress to consult among themselves and choose a formidable candidate before the party's presidential primary on Monday. According to a statement signed by his special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, the president gave the advice during a meeting with all APC presidential aspirants at the State House in Abuja. The meeting is the president's second in a series of consultation with party stakeholders to ensure that the unity and cohesion of the APC are sustained and to provide direction. The president assured attendees that in the interest of the nation and the party, he will continue to provide effective leadership during the transition processes and ongoing consultation.
Ongoing consultative process aimed at ensuring a smooth and strategic emergence of a flag bearer who will lead the APC to a resounding victory in the upcoming presidential polls. Given these circumstances, I charge you to recognize the importance of the stability and unity of the party, which cannot be overemphasized. Similarly, I wish to remind you that our choice of flag bearer must be formidable, appealing to the electorate across the board, and should command such ability to unify the country and the capacity to address our critical challenges. Without prejudice to your qualifications, I urge all of you to hold consultations among yourselves and with the party with a view to building a consensus in a manner that will help the party reduce the number of aspirants, bring up a formidable candidate, and scale down the anxiety of party members.
The FCT Police Command says it has put in place traffic diversions at strategic places within the metropolis ahead of the APC Special Convention scheduled to commence on Monday, 6th of June. A statement from the Police Public Relations Officer, Josephine Ade, says that the diversions will majorly affect areas around the convention ground. She also noted that the diversions will be characterized by heavy police presence and the traffic units to ensure free flow of vehicular movement, while calling for understanding from the public during the restriction period. The police PRO, on behalf of the Commissioner Babaji Sunday, advised all to be vigilant throughout the period and report any suspicious movement to the police. You're watching the News Hour on Trust Television. Coming up shortly. Defy the odds to acquire education. Details and more after the break. Join us again. Welcome back. You're watching the News Hour on Trust Television. Here's a reminder of our top stories again. President Buhari condemns our killings as Ondo State Governor vows to hunt down perpetrators. Preparations on for APC presidential primaries as President Buhari asks aspirants to reach consensus. Moving on, the African Democratic Congress has conducted its governorship primary election in Gombe State ahead of the 2023 general elections. Nafiu Bala emerged ADC governorship candidate in the state unopposed. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
Bala emerged via an affirmative voice vote, where all the delegates agreed and affirmed his candidature for the party in the 2023 Chairman ADC Primary Election Planning Committee from the party's secretariat, Abuja, Idris Musa said the affirmation mode of electing candidates is recognized by the party's constitution as well as the INEC guidelines for primaries.
By the power bestowed on me, I have at this moment asked members that are present here to affirm Honorable Alhaji Nafiu Bala. So I now call you members to please affirm his candidature.
Yes. In his acceptance speech, Bala said he has a 5-point agenda that will lead to the transformation of the state.
Security, health sector, agricultural, economic development. I have the confidence because of most of, if you look going through the Gombe State masses, people are tight. People want vibrant youth to be a governor. I want to thank the delegates and the leadership from the national to the world level. And most of the Gombe State, some stakeholders encouraging me to come out and contest this election.
The exercise was monitored by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
Now, ahead of its primary election, New Nigeria People's Party said that arrangements have been concluded to conduct its first gubernatorial primary in Katsina. With 3 aspirants contesting for the seat, only one will emerge victorious. The vice chairman of NNPP Katsina State Chapter, Dauda Kurfi, said that they are confident that the party will replace the 2 major political parties. Jamil Mabai has more.
New Nigeria's People's Party, NNPP, have concluded arrangements for tomorrow's primary election. The new party believed their primary election will be bribery-free and fair.
Well, we are on high spirit and all preparations are on top gear for tomorrow's primary election. We have 3 contestants, 3 aspirants, aspiring for the seat of governorship. And the party is well prepared, and delegates and the party officials are all ready. We are hoping to have a rancor-free convention, a bribery-free convention. Ours is not a convention where the highest bidder takes the day. We are hoping to produce credible people.
The party has received 2 serving House of Representative members from the All Progressive People Congress. He described the 2 major political parties as a cult-like party.
Yeah, NNPP is already a force to reckon with. We have already received 2 serving members in the House of Representatives to the NNPP. What this means is that these 2 so-called major political parties have turned themselves into cult-like organizations. They have turned themselves into a sort of a private company or a private liability company.
One of the aspirants, Engineer Noura Khalil, a one-time flag bearer of All Nigeria's People's Party, promised to reposition governance in Katsina State.
But I believe for our own party, it's going to be different because what you have, like minds, who are tired of what is happening in PDP, APC, who are the major parties, and are looking for viable alternative. So I believe what will happen tomorrow will be that our delegates will really look at competence, experience, to decide on who to elect. Well, for Katsina State, I think 2 or 3 issues will be of priority. First and foremost will be the security of life and property issue. I think the next thing will be for us, to build a foundation for a sustainable state in terms of development and also internally generated revenue. Well, I think I have been tried and trusted as well. I don't want to blow my trumpet, but over time, I believe my credentials speaks very well for me. You recall in 2003, I came second after Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, even though we know very well that we actually won the election.
Jamil Mabai, Trust TV News, Katsina.
Now, one of the governorship aspirants from the All Progressives Congress in Katsina, Mustafa Inuwa, has called on his supporters to be patient as he will soon unveil his next plan of action. Mustafa Inuwa and 8 others failed to clinch the tickets to become their party flag bearers during the primary election. He made the call while briefing party stakeholders, House of Assembly members and local government chairmen. Jamil Mabai reports.
Barely a week after he failed to emerge as the governorship flag bearer of All Progressive Congress in Katsina, Mustapha Inuwa had an interactive session with his supporters from the 34 local governments across the state. At the meeting, he condemned how primary elections in some quarters were marred by irregularities. Just because he has his own opinion and the interest of the masses at heart, they did what they had to do. Had it been they allowed delegates from Malumfashi to vote, Babangida would have won the election. After screening 10 words, results from Kafur were only 10 words voted. The rest were abandoned. How can you say that they are doing this for the people? Inuwa equally dispelled the rumor that he will head the campaign team for Dr. Umar Radda. Rumors making rounds that I, Mustapha Inuwa, had been given the coordinator to head the campaign train of the APC flag bearer. I want to assure you it is not true. Equally, I want to assure you that it is not something I will think of doing. He affirmed that his quest to lead Katsina is not a do-or-die affair, adding that he will organize another session to unveil his next move. I will soon call for a big meeting where each word will be represented out of the 391 words. Before that time, we will come with information on where we stand. Jamilu Mabai, Trust TV News, Katsina.
Now, education is a foundation for the development and progress of every society. It is a base upon which the whole building of human development stands. In this feature, Zainab Bala tells the story of domestic servants who have chosen to defy the odds to acquire education. Take a look.
Instead of to be looking at the children, I don't mind my age. I'm 20.
When I left village, I don't enter school. That's why my dad just took me to here. I'm entering school.
Sometimes I'll feel like say I'm going back to my village, but because I want to do school, that's why I'm still here.
Something that I cannot do now, I'm trying to do.
These young girls are between the ages of 16 and 25. And this is the average university days or perhaps secondary school. But life is different for them, and so they have taken the bull by its horn to be in the same class with these younger kids.
My name is Akogu Cecilia. I'm from Benue State, Okwaku local government. I was in Abuja 2007. So I was staying with my sister. So from there, the way my sister is treating me, I don't like it. I have to look for work. So my friend looked for work for me. I see the work. I was working with one woman with her husband that I was living with them like almost 2 years. They was nice to me. They take me like their own sister. They didn't take me like their house girl. They was treating me well. So they not think that yes, I have good intelligence to go to school. They now help me to forward my education. My challenge is the people that I'm staying with. Not like they are bad to me, but I have to wake up in the morning, 5 o'clock, do have choice. Before 5, do have choice, bath the children. Before dressing up for my own, I will be coming to school late, but when I get to school, people will be asking me what happened. I'll say this is my challenge. Sometimes when I wake up, I'll sit down. I should drop the school or I should continue. So I have to pick the challenge. I don't mind when I wake up or I don't know how to read and write. Gradually, I will know how to read and write, and speaking good English and all that.
Yes, I see small children in the class. So some people they tell me I'm too big for class. I say no, because it's no school, that's no age. So that's I'm telling them. So they say, it's good. If you are serious for something, you go do for life.
Sometimes I'm feeling my parent, my daddy just have enough of problem for in life. Sometimes I'll be feeling like, say, I'm going back to village to stay with my dad. I'll feel like, let me do school so that I can help my parents. I feel like, say, they'll be telling me, say, I'm big enough to stay in primary school. So I come say, I'm not be ashamed of myself. I want to just learn so that tomorrow I'll be growing, so that next time I'll be helping people.
But when I was broke, I was not going into school, so she now called me to come. So as I came, she wanted to help me. So I agree, I like going to school. So as she put me for school, now I'm very happy to go to school. Nazo Abuja domin na nima karatu, domin koyan karatu. Nazo kuma nan makaranta ne domin koyan karatu, koyan turanci.
We'll now take a quick break. The news hour continues shortly. Please stay with us.
Daily, we bring you updates around politics.
People like you who are very young, you have no future. Anybody now who is 30 years, if what is happening to them continues, by the time you are 60, you will have no country.
The DPO of a particular unit does not have to wait until the commissioner tells him what to do within his jurisdiction.
We have political parties on the ground. Some of them have been there for years. But they themselves, in their own sober moments, they know that this country is not the one they're expecting to run.
Policy and governance.
Are you saying the NBS is lying?
I'm saying to you very clearly that the NBS has a serious problem with accurate data till today.
The 5th Assembly, as well as the 7th Assembly, their own attempt were unproductive.
Emergence of the Taliban has simply emboldened terror groups globally.
There is a lot of attention with regards to security developments in Nigeria.
On Daily Politics, we interrogate issues, holding the actors to account, bearing in mind all the sides.
We heard that in some places now, people have to go and pay tax, not to the local government, not to the state, but to criminals.
Nobody can come to your house and kidnap you without information.
If this country is bleeding, it is bleeding because we have failed to educate our young.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying. You're watching the News Hour on Trust Television. Now, moving on, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, says no fewer than 11 members of the trafficking syndicate have been arrested in connection with peddling of illicit drugs in Abuja and Lagos. Besides the 11 suspects, a 35-year-old physically challenged lady, Kasarachi Onumarjuru, who hides under her condition to deal in drugs in a community, Mbatoli local government area of Imo State, was also arrested. The report.
List of those arrested in connection to seizures at the two airports is Ofochima Chiolobi, who on Friday 20th May attempted to export to Dubai, UAE, 200 blocks of cannabis sativa weighing 30.20 kilograms concealed in 40 sacks of bitter leaf, through the Sako Export Shade, a cargo wing of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos. Statement by the Director, Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, saying on the same day, 10 cartons of carts with gross weight of 354.600 kilograms were also seized at the Nakon Import Shade of the airport. The statement noted that the following day, Saturday 21st May, a freight agent, Roland Orinami, was arrested by the NDLEA operatives attached to the local wing of Lagos Airport with 1.90 kilograms of loud, a variant of cannabis, factory packed in some bottles while trying to send via flight to Abuja. He said a follow-up operation in Abuja led to the arrest of a taxi driver, Instik Evans, sent to collect the consignment. His confession also led to the arrest of the actual owner, Adesonya Olakunle Isaac, at his house in Life Camp area of Abuja. Adesonya, who claimed to be into information technology, accepted ownership of the seized drug, which he said was meant for an upcoming birthday party of his friends. Babafemi also informed that on Tuesday, 24th May, another freight agent, Moshood Aziz Olaide, was arrested at Narco Export Shade of MMIA when presenting a cargo containing psychotropic substances heading to Dubai. The illegal consignment, he said, was packed into other items such as card drinks, liquid bitters, and other non-controlled drugs. The seized drugs include tramadol 225 mg, Refnol, and MDMA. Arrests were also made in Imo, Enugu, and Abuja, with several consignments and drugs recovered. Chairman, Chief Executive of the NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, retired, commended the officers and men of the various commands of the agency for sustaining the hit on drug cartels.
At least 120 people have been hospitalized after suspected toxic chemicals from an expired industrial gas cylinder contaminated the air and spread to the neighborhood of Mundadu in Kano. Confirming the incident, the Public Relations Officer, Kano State Fire Service, Saminu Abdullahi, said many victims were conveyed to hospitals for medical attention. He said about 70 of them were taken to Jain Primary Healthcare, while 50 were taken to the Murtala Mohammed Specialist Hospital, adding that so far no life has been lost in the incident. Daily Trust reports that most of the victims were women and children. The Kano State Police Command has arrested a notorious vehicle thief, Ibrahim Usman, 34, and his accomplice for allegedly stealing a Toyota Hilux vehicle in the state metropolis. The suspect, who hails from Zaria local government area of Kaduna State, was intercepted by the team of Puff Ada of the command, led by SP Rabiu Ahmed, while on routine patrol along Book Road, Kano. The Public Relations Officer of the command, Abdullahi Haruna Kiawa, said further interrogation of the suspect also led to the arrest of his accomplice, Hamisu Ibrahim, 55, who specializes in making master keys for the criminals, and that 29 keys were recovered from his possession. According to Kiawa, the State Commissioner of Police, Kano State Command, CP Samaila Shuaibu Diko, has ordered for discreet investigation, after which the suspects will be charged to court for prosecution. A non-governmental organization, Sea Circle Research, has stressed the need for regular environmental sanitation to promote healthy living in communities. Principal consultant for Sea Circle Research, Dr. Chimerem Ohajinwa, stated this in Abuja at the Maiden Environmental Cleanup Community Project implementation themed Only One Earth to celebrate World Environment Day. The report.
The project was carried out at the IDP camp in Karamanjigi FCT by Sea Circle Research in collaboration with Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, Abuja Environmental Protection Board, AEPB, and Skilled Women Initiative. Ohajinwa, who is also a public health specialist, said the project was conceived after a routine water and sanitation project of the community by Sea Circle Research revealed the poor condition of the environment.
C-Circle Research is known for raising the consciousness of environmental consciousness of people to know the importance of keeping the environment clean. So that's why we came here to clean up this place and create awareness on the importance of cleaning up this place. Okay, so this is the first one we are doing. So what we're going to be doing is have a periodic cleanup projects like this with them. We've spoken to the chairman, the chief of the place. So that's the plan, to make sure you do it regularly with the IDP community. So that's the plan for the sustainability, to make sure that this place is as clean as you can see today, that we've worked for 2 hours stretch cleaning with about 60 people to clean up this environment. So I think it's a lot of achievement. And then you can see that the wheelbarrow we used, we had about 12 wheelbarrow full of dirt we were able to pick from this environment and taking it to the dump site.
Chief Scientific Officer of the Abuja Environmental Protection Board, Oyedepo Jacob, stressed the importance of caring for the environment to avert epidemics. Abe Umar, acting head of Intervention Solid Waste Management Unit of AEPB, also decried the lack of waste management tools and camps for internally displaced persons.
This can cause outbreak of epidemic. Recently, I think we have a cholera outbreak in Abuja. So if we don't enlighten these people that are not that enlightened, we will still have recurrence of this, and it will claim life, waste the money, the peanut they are making, to make them to waste the money on drugs and some other things to recover from whatever illness they contracted from the environment. So we see this place as a susceptible area that we think we should come around to enlighten them and teach them how to do it and the way to handle their environment, so that we can have a healthy and a safe environment.
A monthly basis we do normally do sanitations, and this sanitation involve using a payloader because of the waste is much. We use tippers to pack those waste to the approved dump site, as goes at dump site. That's what we normally do monthly, but there is need now because of coming of this NGO, if we can even make it weekly, so that the waste will not be piling up in such a way that this rainy season, so that they cannot block major access roads in the villages.
Depend on the time we see that the environment is, getting dirty. Anytime the environment dirty, we call our people to come out to make it clean. That's what we do. You see these waterways, so leathers, all these rubbers, dirty used to come through the waterways. So we need to clean the waterways, especially in this rainy season. I know before this program, there is a community environmental that we collaborated ourselves, conjoining with the scavengers, the babambola, the traders, the tribal leaders, the imam, the pastors, that we gathered ourselves, that every 2 to 3 weeks we used to come out and share awareness and also clean the environment.
Thinking about how we can, proffer clean solutions to the environment. So that was the first instance for the collaboration. And also they are passionate about empowerment, which is our main core, empowering women and people living in displaced communities. So it's a gradual process, continuous interventions, outreaches, telling women and the community members how important it is that the environment is clean, not only because of the environment, also for their health and their well-being. So it's a continuous thing, and advocacy would be the most important tool to use for sustainability.
For his part, Abubakar Mustafa, chairman of Karomanjigi IDP camp, expressed gratitude to C-Circle Research for commemorating the World Environment Day in the camp. In her remarks, Chisom Nwankwo, convener of Skilled Women Initiative, harped on the need for collaboration by environment-based organizations to sensitize citizens to the importance of a clean environment. The World Environment Day, celebrated annually on June 5th, seeks to create awareness about threats to the environment due to rising pollution and climate change.
Let's now take a look at the business updates with Chiamaka Nwafo.
Nigeria's total trade in the first quarter of 2022 stood at 13 trillion naira. This was disclosed in a recent report published by the National Bureau of Statistics. This was higher than the value recorded in the fourth quarter of 2021, which was 11.7 trillion naira, and the value recorded in the corresponding period of 2021, which stood at 7.86 trillion naira. Total exports were 7.1 trillion naira, of which re-exports stood at 115.80 billion naira, while total imports stood at 5.9 trillion naira. In the quarter under review, total exports increased by 23.13% when compared to the fourth quarter of 2021, which 5.77 trillion naira, and by 137.88% of the value recorded in the first quarter of 2021, which was 2.98 trillion naira. On the other hand, total imports increased by 21.04% in the first quarter of 2022 when compared to the value recorded in the first quarter of 2021, and decreased by 0.67% when compared to the value recorded in the preceding quarter. Re-exports in the first quarter of 2022, which stood at 115.80 billion naira, decreased when compared to the same quarter of 2021 and also in the fourth quarter of 2021 by 6.20% and 59.30% respectively. In the quarter under review, the top 5 re-export destinations were Namibia, Cameroon, Ghana, Indonesia, and Malaysia. Finally in business, the Debt Management Office, DMO, has listed 2 new federal government of Nigeria FGN savings bonds for subscription at 1,000 naira per unit. According to the DMO, the first one is a 2-year savings bond maturing on June 15, 2024 at an interest rate of 8.20% per annum. The second is a 3-year savings bond due for maturing on June 15, 2025 at 9.20% per annum interest rate. It added that the FGN bonds qualify as securities in which trustees could invest under the Trustee Investment Act. The savings bonds are listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange and qualify as liquid asset for liquidity rate calculation in banks. And that's it for business news.
Now let's take a look at stories from the foreign scene. President Vladimir Putin has warned the West that Russia will strike new targets if the U.S. starts supplying Ukraine with longer-range missiles. This comes as at least one person is reported wounded as powerful explosions rock Kyiv after weeks of calm. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says that one of the country's holiest Orthodox Christian sites has been burnt down following a Russian attack. He says that the street fighting is continuing in the city, where the situation remains extremely difficult. West African leaders on Saturday failed to agree on what action to take against military juntas in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Guinea, postponing a decision until July. Ghana's President Nana Akufo-Addo opened the summit, attended by the heads of state of most of the 15 member countries, but without any representative from Mali, Burkina Faso, or Guinea visible in the audience. Reports say that a decision was put off until the next summit meeting for the Economic Community of West African States in July. The group had been expected to decide whether to keep, lighting, or lift retaliatory measures on Mali imposed in January after its military regime announced an intention to rule for another 5 years. Guinea, Burkina Faso, and Mali are currently suspended from ECOWAS bodies. A massive fire has swept through a container depot in southeastern Bangladesh, killing at least 22 people and injuring more than 170. Authorities say that the fire broke out at a container facility on Saturday night at Sitakunda, 40 kilometers from the port city of Chittagong, triggering multiple explosions. Chittagong's chief doctor, Elias Choudhury, says that the number of fatalities is expected to rise as some of the injured are in critical condition. Those injured included firefighters who had been at the scene attempting to douse the blaze, and they were hurt during the secondary explosions. Police say that firefighters are still working to put out the fire on Sunday morning. And that's a wrap on Trust News Hour. You can connect with us via all our social media platforms and also follow us across our YouTube channel as well. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.